Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for yet another Civilization 6 Let's Play. Today we're going to be playing a little bit with the One Era Behind mod, which is a extra difficulty mod that was made by fellow Civ content creator Inquisitive Otter. If you've never heard of him, I will link his channel in the description below. But the basics of this mod are really just that you start one era behind the AI, so it's like Deity on steroids. They start in the classical era, you start in the ancient, and, you know, just makes things a little bit more difficult. So, I think what we're going to do in order to play this, I'm going to do something that I think is pretty fun with the new update, and I believe that Potato McWhiskey has been doing this, maybe on stream or something like that, but we are going to play Bull Moose Teddy. We're going to probably go for a culture victory, and we're going to utilize the new Preserve District. So, the thing that I'm going for here is that Bull Moose Teddy gets additional yields based on the appeal of his tiles, and he's also able to increase the appeal of his tiles with, or I guess it's not in there, but it's up here, is that he's able to increase the appeal of his tiles with national parks. So combine this with the Preserve, which also increases appeal and gives yields, and you're going to end up with a ton of extra yields on your tiles. So, of course, we're going to be playing on Deity difficulty. I'm going to play on Continents and Islands map type, standard world size. I'll play with Heroes and Legends, Monopolies and Corporations, and Secret Societies. And I think I'm actually going to put the Rainfall on Wet to give us more woods, rainforest, and marsh, because I want to have more woods to be able to get some yields from, and I just think it's, you know, kind of fun to play like that. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and see what happens with the One Era Behind mod. Alright, we've got our spawn here, which isn't looking too bad. We don't have a ton of mountains, which give appeal. Well, actually, maybe I take that back, because it looks like we've got some over here. We've got a nice few number of hills. We've got some flat land for some farms as well. And we've got some woods to help increase the appeal of our tiles. So if we take a look here, we do have some breathtaking tiles, which is really good. We are unfortunately going to clear some as we settle, though, because that's going to get rid of the woods. This one still is breathtaking, though. So a 3 food, 2 science, 2 culture tile is a pretty good one to start on. We are, of course, just going to start with a scout. We want to see what's around us. As for our first research, I think we'll go animal husbandry, just so that way we can make this tile even a little bit better. And we're obviously going to go code of laws here. And let's go ahead and see what's around us. So, my plan for the early game here is just going to be to scout a lot, find out where I want to settle a bunch of cities. I'm going to need to get some faith, so I'm probably going to want to go Void Singers if we're able to find them. And for my Pantheon, I definitely want Earth Goddess if it's available. Looks like we've actually got some tundra up here, so we must be pretty far in the north. We also did find a goody hut, so let's go ahead and see, will we get Void Singers from it? We will, actually, so that's actually quite nice. So we will appoint them right away. I don't know if we'll go, maybe we honestly might even get an Old God Obelisk directly after producing this scout, just because that'll help us get towards that Pantheon a good bit faster. We are also already at our first policy card, so we're going to run God King, obviously, to get to our Pantheon, as I had mentioned, and I'm going to run Discipline just in case I happen to run into any barbarians. It'll help us deal with them a little bit easier. So one thing I do want to talk about is that, although I'm going to need lots of faith for a game like this, where I want to buy a ton of naturalists, I'm not going to go for a religion, so I'm kind of going to delay getting astrology, just because I'm going to get other districts before I get my holy sites. I would like to ideally just get faith from Earth Goddess and Void Singers, and honestly not even have to get really many holy sites at all if possible, but yeah, so if you're going to go for a game where you go culture and religion, I wouldn't necessarily recommend going for a religion unless there's a very particular strategy that you have that you want to use the religion to help augment your culture game. But when you're playing something like Bull Moose Teddy, you've got plenty of other stuff that helps you get faith or culture, so you don't really need to get a religion. So instead, I think we're just going to go for pottery. We've met a city-state. We met Nalanda, which is one of the newer ones. This one actually is kind of okay because, well, it depends if we build holy sites. We can get a little bit of extra faith and science from it and some additional housing as well. But aside from that, I don't think it's a particularly great city-state for us this game. All right, I think we will go for an Old God Obelisk before getting a settler. Or actually, maybe not. Now, let's go ahead and get the settler first, just because I want to be able to start getting some other cities out. And then maybe in the second city, we'll start just by straight up producing an Old God Obelisk. One other thing that I noticed is that we do have 3 diamonds here already, so for our corporation, I think that this is going to be pretty strong. We probably have a good portion of the world's diamonds just by having 3 in our capital already. The pyramids has been completed on turn 12. I guess stuff like that is bound to happen when you're playing with this extra difficulty mod, because, you know, the extra difficulty doesn't exactly make it easier, so I guess there's, you know, I really do like to get the pyramids, but my hopes weren't too high, and it looks like my expectations have indeed been met in that the AI tend to get wonders very, very fast in this mod. Let's also go for mysticism. So as I had mentioned, we're going to be wanting to get this preserve out a lot because it's going to increase tile appeal around it, which will give us some really nice yields there, and we can also get the grove, which will give us food, faith, and culture to the surrounding tiles that have good appeal. We found a barb encampment down here. We do want to deal with it. There also is an awakened barbarian up here. I don't know which camp he belongs to. It looks like it might be maybe behind this mountain over here. It looks like that's the direction he's going to. We've met Suleiman of the Ottomans, so hopefully we can be friends with him. I really don't want to fight an early war this game because we're probably going to get smacked if somebody has, you know, way better technology than us. So let's start by sending him a delegation. Hopefully that will start us off with some good diplomacy with him rather than him wanting to kill us right away. I'm also seeing down here, there's this little island right here. This means potential for some Golden Gate Bridge. I know that the Golden Gate Bridge is kind of a meme amongst, well, both me and the people that watch me. So maybe if we're lucky this game, we can get some Golden Gate Bridge action going. Okay, luckily it looks like Suleiman actually is friendly with us, and he will allow us to declare friendship, so that means we don't really have to worry about him attacking us. We did just meet Jerusalem as well, which means we can get a little bit of faith from them if we decide to build some holy sites, but aside from that, they're not going to be super useful. It also looks like it's probably Signy that's up here, because there's some culture and faith on this tile. It was indeed Signy, so this is perhaps a good spot to go and maybe consider doing some national parks around Signy, because Signy will give some very nice appeal to the tiles around it. We actually probably just want to settle up there. Also, I don't know where the Ottomans are. I'm trying to see if I can find them anywhere based on like loyalty or anything, but it doesn't look like it yet. This land down here is really good for us. There's lots of hills, lots of spots for farms, plenty of spots for seaside resorts, so this is definitely a spot where we want to settle quite a few cities in. Alright, I think we're going to go... Let's go ahead and get an Old God Obelisk now. As far as where my second city is going to go, I'm not entirely sure. So the thing is, when you're playing culture, you kind of do have to space your cities out a little bit for national parks, but I think that what we have going down here is good enough, so we'll be able to get at least 3 cities over here, probably more over here. I want to see what's going on with this land over here as to maybe if the Ottomans are over there or not, but I think we're going to go ahead and settle our second city down here. Well, get the settler on his way, at least, to go and settle that second city. So this is another bad thing about the AI being ahead, is that it means the barbarians are going to get better units, so we're going to be facing barb archers already, which I don't really like. Luckily, we did just finish archery ourselves, so hopefully that will help us out a little bit, but it's going to be not the easiest to fight the barbarians starting off here. Oh, geez, they have 2 archers already. Oh, God, they've got a lot of... they've got quite a few units coming for our capital. Do kind of want to get an archer just to help me defend. Luckily, it doesn't really matter for the capital because barbarians can't take your capital anyways. But especially for this second city that I'm about to found, we want to make sure that we don't lose it to barbarians because, well, that would obviously be quite bad. I'll put 1 envoy in the Jerusalem just to get a little bit of extra faith starting out here. So we've settled our second city, and this is something that I didn't even realize, is that this is a different continent over here, which is really good because it means we can perhaps run some of the policy cards that give us bonuses from having cities on continents other than our capital's continent. So this is something I'm quite glad that is actually a thing. We also do have some high appeal tiles down here, which makes things even a little bit better. Let's go ahead and start with just getting... actually, no. I was going to say let's get an Old God Obelisk, but let's get an archer because we know we're going to have to deal with some barbarians. So we found Suleiman's land over here, so I think we want to be able to... What we should do is we'll settle in this direction first. We'll save... Well, obviously we're going to put some cities over here, but we'll save those ones for later on once... Because this isn't really contested land. Nobody's going to come settle over here, but over here we are competing in expansion with Suleiman. Also do have our Pantheon, and it looks like Earth Goddess is available, so we will certainly take it. And now the tiles that are breathtaking will get some extra good stuff on them in the form of some extra faith. I want to get an archer in here, or, well, I should say I probably should get an archer in this city. I also want to get settlers out faster, though, but I think let's be smart. Let's not just try to rush things, and let's actually stop and get the archer. So Hanging Gardens and Great Bath were just finished, which is hilarious because that means that the Temple of Artemis, Pyramids, and Oracle were all built in this game before the Great Bath. Inspiration. Alright, I don't think... Actually, yeah, at this point we can probably run urban planning just to help produce things a little bit faster. I think I actually want to run a Gauge real fast as well to help us get out these archers. And then once we finish our next Civic, we'll probably switch back to getting the combat strength against barbarians. Alright, there we go. We finished our archer, so now we can have him try to kill some of these enemy archers that are going to beat up our capital. And we are going to go for more settlers now, because as I mentioned, we just want to go settle this front over here against Soyamon, so that way he can't expand towards us. Alright, over here in Philadelphia, so there's not that many great campus spots. I think we're just going to go for the Old God Obelisk to give us a little bit of both culture and faith. And then perhaps after that we'll get a trader, just so that way we can help get us a little bit of gold and also, you know, get some good diplomacy going with Soyamon. We are on into the classical era, and we are in a normal age. It looks like Soyamon is as well, so hopefully we shouldn't have any loyalty problems there. I think we're just going to go for probably free inquiry, because we're going to be trying to get lots of Eurekas here, which will give us plenty of era score. And the thing is that a lot of the early game Eurekas are pretty easy to get, so we shouldn't have any issues there. Let's definitely get early Empire, because we want to run the colonization card in order to get some production towards settlers. Also, while we're at it, let's switch out, get discipline back again, so that way we can get some help in fighting these barbarians. Luckily, the river has also flooded as the barbarians are standing on it, which somehow they have taken no damage. Okay. Was not expecting that. We did get the boost of bronze working, though, by killing a bunch of them, so that is something that is at least positive. Now, let's definitely switch out now and run this extra production towards settlers. And we will continue to attempt to kill the barbarians. We'll actually go on the offensive up here to try to clear this camp, because the faster we can clear the camp, the less issues we'll have early on here. As far as our first governor, I think we're going to go for Pingala, especially since we get all these free yields from working tiles. Pingala can be really nice to give you that extra bit of science and culture, and we will get researcher on him as well to help us get some of these early techs. All right, a bit of a min-maxy thing. Well, kind of min-maxy, maybe just lacking a little bit of the min-maxing, but we will be able to easily get the Eureka for currency, so we're going to switch off of it for now, because we don't need it right now, and we might as well spend turns researching something else, because anything that you put into research when you could just be waiting for the Eureka means that you're kind of just throwing away a bit of science per turn. Looks like we've got quite a few barbarians over here, and they have a catapult that they're bringing to attack my city. Uh-oh, that's not what you like to see. Oh, it looks like the Ottomans actually might be coming over here to help me clear this barbarian encampment. If they do, that would be super helpful of them. We should be able to pretty easily clear this one down here. Oh, that guy barely lived. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they are at least fighting the barbarians, so that's better than doing nothing, I suppose. I think this guy will live if he fortifies on the hill. Let's find out. Will they even hit him? That guy actually died. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Suddenly, a bunch of troops came out of nowhere. Well, at least that guy lived. Well, that means we now need a new archer over here, so... not the best move from myself, but... what are you gonna do, right? God, I think probably the most difficult thing thus far about this mod, you know, obviously since I'm not fighting any of the AI, I'm not necessarily feeling the effect of them starting an era ahead, but it's affecting the barbarians to the point where they are brutal to fight early on because of the fact that they get these bonuses. So that does kind of suck. All right, let's go ahead and get the trader here. I can just buy an archer with gold, which I will do because we had like 260 gold. We weren't really using it for anything else, so we might as well, you know, get a unit out of it. I almost just lost yet another archer. I actually might still. I'm pretty sure he's going to get shot and die. Sometimes I'm not the brightest Civ player, and today may just be one of those days, so... What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Build an archer in a new city. Alright, sure. I'm going to apologize for settling here, but I'm not actually going to really be sad about it. This is a little bit scary, though. There are a lot of barbarians here. For our first government, though, we're still going to go Classical Republic. It's just definitely the best. We're going to run a Gauge and Discipline now. That way we can hopefully get some of these units out a little bit faster to help us against these 3,000 barbarians that are coming to attack us. Oh, this guy actually didn't die. I'm amazed. Without a doubt, though, our capital is definitely going to be taking some damage here. I don't think there's really any way around that, though. Okay, also, please, for the love of God, do not make it out and go wake somebody up. If he's going to re-alert the camp, which is going to make me even more sad. It looks like Soyamon's still closing in on it, but... God, if he causes this to spawn even more barbarians, I'm gonna cry. All right, luckily he turned around. He's been intimidated by my warrior here, I think. I just accidentally moved my settler. That is not what I meant to do, but luckily we'll be able to salvage it. Once again, as I mentioned, you know, our capital's low on HP, but the barbarians, like, them hitting it doesn't really do anything to the city, so it doesn't really matter. Like, you can see, they just hit it They hit it with their swordsmen, but it doesn't take the city or anything, so it's kind of just like a nuisance, I suppose. Oh, okay, the barb camp is actually quite low. We can also send a trade route over here to Soyamon, which will finish currency. Which means we can get working on an industry, because we do have multiple diamonds here, so we definitely should try to get a diamond industry. Let's go ahead and get a builder. That way we can get that started pretty fast. The unfortunate thing is that, you know, founding the diamond industry is going to cause us to build mines. And mines aren't exactly the best because they do reduce the appeal of surrounding tiles. Luckily, though, later on in the game, we could just get rid of them, you know. Let's see if we can clear this encampment with our scout. Watch the scout die now. That would be icing on the top of the cake, would it not? Alright, looks like that is the end of our barbarian woes, at least in the north part of our land here. Can also get this guy coming over here. We're going to settle one down here somewhere. I don't know exactly where yet because I haven't really scouted it, but be able to find that out. And we can give our scout a promotion. Oh, please don't kill my trader. Okay, he hasn't done it yet, but I am slightly worried that he might consider killing my trader. We can also get rid of the battering ram that's there. Hopefully our barbarian woes should soon be over. This guy's offering 3 gold per turn and silver for 30 Diplo favor. I actually think that is a pretty decent deal, so we will take that. Okay, here's this jerk again. We'll kill him. And I think that that's the last of the units from this camp down here. Oh god, they of course have spawned. They've spawned a freaking swordsman like the turn that we would have been able to clear the camp. That's very rude. Alright, we're actually going to produce settlers in multiple cities at this point because we want to be able to get all of these cities out. So this is something I talk about a lot. In a game like Civ 6 where cities are so valuable, you just want to get your cities settled pretty much before anything else. So just producing settlers in a lot of cities early on can make it just so that way you spend less time, you know, in terms of total number of turns producing settlers, and that way, you know, you're able to get everything out there. This guy almost died, but I actually think he might be okay once he gets this promotion. Oh, he's not dead. I think he'll be able to run away at least. Alright, so I think I'm going to give... Which city do I want to be the owner of the diamond industry? I think I'm going to do Philadelphia because the capital also has cotton. The capital will... I think that's... Is that the only other luxury resource that it has in range? Yeah. So we'll be able to get a cotton industry in the capital as well. So that way, you can only get one industry per city, so... we'll give diamonds to Philadelphia because Philadelphia doesn't have anything else, and the capital can be the cotton industry. So these cities over here, I'll put a good bit of space in between them, and the reason for that is because, you see, we can't really go much farther over here, so whenever there's not much more space that you can expand to, you might as well just make use of the space you have in between. And actually, I think I'm even going to move this guy over and settle on this hill tile right here, so that way I can use all of these tiles here for seaside resorts. Do have to be a little bit careful here. This swordsman is coming after me. I don't want to accidentally lose my settler to him, so we will go ahead and back that guy off. The swordsman is really coming after me. But he's about to get in range of my capital archer, which will make quick work of him, I would imagine. And then finally, we can hopefully go down here and kill this stupid encampment. It's been bothering me for quite a while. There we go. We've killed that guy. Can send the settler down. Get celestial navigation as well, because we will need some harbors in some of these cities down here. Classical era does end in 4 turns as well. We might go into a dark age unless we can get a Eureka for something. I don't know if we can. Actually, maybe if we get a builder... Well, what could we get? Yeah, I think if we buy a builder in the capital, we can get the Eureka for horseback riding, which will give us that 1 extra era score. It'll also just make this tile a little bit better, so... Have a moderate flood literally on top of Boston. There we go. There's that 1 extra era score, so now we are at 27, and we will not go into a Dark Age next era. Alright, there's New York settled as well. We will start with the Old God Obelisk over there. We're making 15 faith per turn right now, which isn't like a ton, but it's not bad. Alright, medieval era time, and we are once again going to go for free inquiry just to keep getting some extra era score from these Eurekas. I'm trying to plan out the rest of my cities here, and I think I have a general idea of what I want to do. I think we're going to maybe go. So these guys over here, we're going to space out a good bit just because this is a lot of empty land, And its main use is really going to be just for national parks and seaside resorts, so things don't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that wasn't... I was worried that that was an illegal settle. So most of this land over here will probably just eventually be used for national parks, and there's not that many good district spots anyway, so we're going to have to just make them up kind of as we go by putting districts next to each other, so it's the best shot that we have. We have the first World Congress as well, and I think that we're going to vote for City Center Production, which will help us get our Old God obelisks built, and for this one, I guess we'll vote Scientific, or just because that's what we have close to us. We don't have any trade routes to it anyways, though, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, well, we won both of those, though, which is quite good, so that'll make it easier for us to get out these Old God obelisks in our starting cities, or in the cities that are newly founded, I should say. Oh, we've met Gitarja. Talk about an S-tier waifu. We've got one right here. I wonder where she's at, though. Oh, we've also met Menelik. Interesting. So, where did we meet both of these guys at? Let's see if we can find out. Ethiopia down here somewhere, and Indonesia. They both point to Charleston for some reason, so there must be... I wonder if they found us navally. We are, once again, redeclaring friendship with the Ottomans because this crossbowman was making me a little bit nervous. I wasn't sure if he was going to try to kill me or anything, but he won't be able to as long as we declare friendship with us because, you know, you can't declare war on someone that you are a declared friend with. So how many more settlers do we need? We're going to get one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got one out and 3 in production already, so we still need quite a few more. As far as yields, we're actually not doing terribly bad. We will also declare friendship with Indonesia. And perhaps they will give us something for this. Only 2 gold per turn is not really what I was thinking of. Do you have diamonds? You don't have diamonds. You only give me 3 gold per turn, though, so it's really not that much better, is it? Well, now she's offering also some horses and stuff. This is still a pretty terrible deal. This guy's offering 12 gold per turn. That's a much better deal. Oh god, the barbarians are back yet again. Round 12, here we go. We can get the second upgrade on Void Singers, which will convert a portion of our faith return into science, culture, and gold, so that is pretty good. It's not really super great yet because we only have 15 faith returns, so that's going to give us, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure like 3 of each, which obviously isn't a significant impact, but as we get later on in the game and start making a lot of each of those yields, then that's going to add up quite nicely. Alright, so I've just done a lot of planning in between turns here to plan out some of where we are going to put a whole bunch of our districts and things of that sort. So as you can see, I've planned out most of my national parks, maybe not most, but a lot of the ones for these cities, just so that way I make sure I don't put any districts on those tiles. And I've also planned out some of the preserves as well, so that way I know exactly where I want to put them in order to work with my national parks. And I actually can probably squeeze in another national park up here. And as you can see, I've got obviously quite a few of these placed down, and we might not even be able to get all of them, you know, after a while. So also I want to maybe do like a culture or one of those. We're obviously going to need more districts around here somewhere, so maybe like a theater square there. There's going to be a whole bunch more over in here, so this is more so just for the sake of planning things out, so that way I know exactly what I want to do and don't mess myself up by, you know, ruining some spots by putting districts where districts shouldn't be going. Finally cleared this barb encampment as well, so now hopefully that will be the end of our barb troubles. There was a barbarian quadreme up here that was hitting me, but luckily he's not on land, so he can't come after me, is hopefully what the deal will be, and we will become the suzerain of Nalanda right now. Which we got another hero. Actually, I just thought we haven't recruited any heroes. Hercules is available, and I think we definitely want to get him. So maybe after we finish this settler in Washington, we'll go ahead and recruit Hercules, because he can help us get out some extra districts and things like that nice and fast. So the thing with a game like this is that it is going to be definitely like quite the slow burn, so we're not going to have a ton of yields early on in the game, and you can see like this, and we're honestly not even going to build that many districts, but once we get to the point where we get national parks and we can just start putting out so many of these, our yields are going to go straight through the roof, and it's going to be really insanely strong. So if you're wondering, you know, like obviously I'm not doing the best right now, but things will definitely get better as we go on in this game. All right, I think we're getting to the point where we actually almost have enough settlers. We actually might be just about there. We need 3 more. We got 3 in production. So after this, then we actually don't need any more. Well, we actually have 2 in production and we only need 2 more. So after this, we are done producing settlers, which is a good thing to be able to, you know, move on and start building some districts and things of that sort. So we're going to go ahead and get these last few cities settled. This guy's also taking probably the riskiest route that he could possibly choose to take, but we're just going to let him go on it and hopefully not have to produce one more settler after we lose one. So in Philadelphia over here, let's go ahead and start getting some of these districts down. We'll get the commercial hub just so that way we can start earning some great merchant points to hopefully eventually upgrade our diamond industry into a diamond corporation. I also do need to spend some of my gold because I have a ton of it, so I'm going to go ahead and get some builders to help improve some of these tiles that I've got around. And over here, I need to think of where I'm going to be. So let's see, this will be Boston's preserve. So I could get the preserve down over here, and I actually think I will do that. Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll chop the tile first, and perhaps I'll get a water mill while I wait to do that. Another session of the World Congress. I'm going to vote for a discount on producing military units, just so that way I can perhaps, you know, build a few more in case I ever need to defend myself. And I would like to be the winner of this to get the extra trade route capacity, but I doubt that we have enough diplomatic favor to be able to actually influence it. Yeah, Katarja was the winner. We did win the mercenary one, though, so we will be able to produce units a little bit more cheaply. And this should give us a Eureka, yep, to get apprenticeship. So that is now finished, although we're not going to use it a ton. Let's get down this first preserve over here, which is right in the middle of all of these national parks, so we will be able to get a ton, hopefully I should say, a ton of extra yields on some of these tiles and some extra appeal, all good things of that sort once we actually get to the point where we're able to start making our national parks. So this is the one nice thing, is that since Signy gives extra appeal to the tiles that are around it, these end up being very good tiles in terms of their culture and science yield and things of that sort. I'm going to put down one of these unique improvements that we get from Nalanda here, just because it'll give us a free tech. I mean, it only does that once, but I think it's still worth, you know, exchanging effectively 1 build charge for 1 tech, because, you know, a free tech is worth a lot. There's also all this empty space over here that we could utilize if we want. I honestly don't even know if I want to build that many settlers to be able to go settle all this as well, but the option is there if we want to. We've gotten quite a good spawn in this game, all things considered. All right, as you can see, I've done some more planning here to get out a bunch of extra preserves and national parks over here. If we're actually able to get all of these national parks, I will be quite surprised, but the yields that we will get from them if we do will just be absolutely ridiculously insane. So hopefully we can get all these national parks, but, you know, we'll see. We'll definitely try to get as many as we can, but now with all of that planned, hopefully I'll know exactly where I'm able to put my districts and things of that sort. Honestly, this is a game where I might not even build theater squares. I don't really think we really need to. We really don't need anything except just to get out all of these national parks, and then we'll be having so many yields that nothing else will really even matter. So it's maybe a little bit of a giant bargain, but if we can get to that point, then I think we'll be looking pretty happy. And I am also going to apologize at the fact that you have to stare at all these pins for like the next 30 minutes, because I know they're not exactly the best eye candy when there is like 30,000 of them all over the screen, but in due time they will be going away. So as we're able to get things, you know, rolling out here, then we won't have to be staring at pins any longer. We actually did manage to avoid the Dark Age here. I really thought that we were going to go into one, but we managed to scrape by just enough era score in order to avoid that into the next era. So I think we're going to go Monumentality, because now is when we're going to start putting down a lot of our districts. We don't really have that many trade routes yet, so not that good for us. And as we, you know, get out these districts, then our yields are going to go up as well. Also, I think we want to get Reina. So the good thing with Reina, as I will show here, put her over here in Boston for right now, but the good thing with Reina is that she does have this one, which gives you gold and also appeal on unimproved features. So if we have a lot of unimproved woods, then that's a lot of extra appeal and also, you know, other good stuff that we can get from those tiles, which stacks on to the already insane amount of extra stuff that we can get from these tiles pretty much for free. So good stuff that you like to see. Ryman accidentally once again. Let's also have a alliance with Soyamon. He doesn't want, yeah, we'll go ahead and give him a little bit of gold to have a economic alliance, which will pay itself off in the end, because as, you know, it levels up, we'll be able to get more gold from our trade routes to him, so that'll be looking good. Let's go ahead and get down this theater square anyways. I know I said I probably don't need theater squares, but if we can build them, you know, we might as well, so we will go ahead and do that. I actually am probably just going to purchase the market in this city, because that'll get us at least an extra trade route slot. And then, am I able to afford to buy another trader? I am, actually, so I will go ahead and do that. Okay, we can change some policy cards around here because there aren't that many that we need anymore. We probably don't need urban planning. We definitely do want to run serfdom for the builder charges. I'm trying to think of what else we really want, though. There's admittedly not a ton. Machiavellianism is good once we get spies, but we don't particularly need it just yet. We might as well run Charismatic Leader to get some extra envoys in city-states, which will help our diplomacy. Aside from that, there's nothing really that's super strong that we want here. I think we're eventually, as I mentioned, going to want the things that give bonuses to cities on other continents, because like 3 or 4 of our cities are on separate continents from our capital, but don't have that just yet. So let's go ahead and run... I don't really even know. Natural philosophy isn't really good because we don't have any campuses built yet, so maybe we just go land surveyors, honestly, because we could go ahead and purchase some of these tiles, just so, you know, that way we could make use of them. Like, some of these ones over here are pretty good. We've got 55 gold per turn, so we've got plenty of gold to spend, pretty much. So that's where we're going to call it here of episode 1 of the One Era Behind mod series. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe and like the video. And if you're interested in picking up this mod for yourself, I'll link the Steam Workshop page in the video description below. Once again, thanks to Inquisitive Otter for making this mod and getting all of us content creators together to all make videos about it. I'm sure you've probably noticed that a lot of us have uploaded today, and well, it's kind of planned, I suppose. So I will link his channel in the video description below. Thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.